Welcome to the totally coordinated closing ceremonies. Everybody has handing me their own cheat sheets, and I will go through them and see what I got. So, I hope all of you had a good time for the last few days. Sounds like it. I'm so glad you enjoyed yourselves. I think we did a fairly good job. I want to thank all the teams who have been working so hard behind the scenes to make this convention happen, despite everything being twice as hard as usual. I have deep respect for all of you. This was not an easy con to pull off. Big round of applause for the almost 300 volunteers we had this year who helped us run this convention. Okay, before I go on with all the bloop and blop and things that I have on this piece of paper, there are a few very nice people I would like to ask to come on stage, and that is our lovely charity team. Hello.
Hello, thank you. Oh wow, how crazy days it has been. As Jason mentioned, it's been really difficult to get back into swing of everything. We started by throwing out keys that we really needed. That was fun. No panic at all. But thankfully you have been completely crazy as well. Donating left and right. When Kage had his charity show, he asked for 2,000 euros, I believe it was. You immediately filled up 2 cans. We had to get another. So that was fantastic. Great support for the charity events. Great support for the to the concert. Thank you so much for showing all of the love and support here. So finally, I can go with the preliminary. There are still very much getting counted. There is a giant basket of copper coins someone donated. Löwy is sitting crying right now. Thank you. First off, I would really like the CPF to join me here on stage. Carmen and Craig. The 2 wonderful people came all the way from South Africa. So, but as I mentioned, I have the preliminary result. Wow, that was difficult. It is 12,600 euros. Or calculated to South African rand, that is 212,000. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you. Now, public speaking is something I do quite a bit at our facility, of which I hope all of you will get the opportunity to come and see. This experience for us to have come here, I think the best way I can explain it is probably the most humbling and exciting journey that I've ever experienced. You are all truly phenomenal, and thank you for that. If it's okay, I'm going to name and shame a little bit, if that's okay. Anybody's against that, you can shout quickly. The journey started about 7 years ago with one of our most loyal volunteers, Futiku, and he comes to us every year, even during hard times. He's always there helping a hand and has actually become one of our benefactors for Tiku. Thank you so much, and thank you for bringing us. I'd also really like to thank Sniffer for everything that you've done, for your directorship, and it's not only been this year. We've had the privilege to be walking this journey with you for 3 years. Even when things were tough for you guys, you still lent out your hand, and you made a point of helping us too, so thank you. I'd like to thank all the directors, all of you involved. I don't know all of you. Carmen's far better at introducing herself and getting involved. But thank you very much for setting all of this up. It is truly phenomenal. I've never seen anything like it, and I'm definitely going to become an ambassador of furry conventions. I'd also like to give a very special thanks to those of you working so hard. There were a couple of you who came to ask us where can you get a tin, a shaker. Thank you for your dedication and for lending your hand during the conference when everybody else, I know you were having fun too, I know you mentioned that, but I see it as a sacrifice, and thank you for that. And I'd like to give a special thanks to the performance of the Fox Murray band and the artists that, did I say that right? Fox and Moore, sorry. Okay. Thank you. I think it's also, you know, I don't think any of this would have been possible if it was not for all you wonderful furries sitting here today. And I hope you're all here, because I'd like to say a very big thank you to all of you. You are truly spectacular, you're truly amazing. You're so artistic, so creative, and so kind, and so loving. It's just been, there's no words for it, to be honest. I'm considering this whole thing, it's just amazing. I would like to give a very special thanks, and this isn't about us, but I truly believe that the work that my colleague Carmen has done to keep everything together, to continue with those relations, thank you so much. You play such an important role in generating the necessary funding for us, and we as a facility will not be where we are if it were not for you. And I can guarantee you, and I promise you all, that my job is to spend that money, and and I can guarantee you that I will make sure that we put that money to the best possible use. Our animals can't verbally say thank you, but when they are so well looked after and so well cared for, it is thanks to you. It's thanks to you for them being able to be animals. Even though they're not in an ideal situation, we would like all animals to be out in the wild, but we need to change our behavior, and this is the sort of thing that makes it better for them, and I thank you all for that. This will help us to continue our journey to conserve, care, and connect. Love to you all. Thank you.
Good evening, furries. It's an absolute blessing, amazing experience to be here. It's our first time in Europe, and we have loved it from when we left South Africa. Everyone has been loving and supportive, and yeah, just like Craig said, I want to thank everyone who has given up their time to look after us, everyone who visited our booth, and for those who were at our presentations. I think through spending time with us, you understand the zoological community better, and you can go out there and tell them why facilities like ours need to be there. And I'm just grateful that Eurofurence managed to get through COVID just as we did. And thank you for all your help. And I'm so happy you can all get back to hugging each other again.
Thank you very much.
Carmen and Craig, two wonderful people. Thankfully, we're not done helping them yet, because there are still fursuit collectors running around, and you can still go out and grab a can if you want to. Tomorrow at 4, there is the Sunday open table. If you're an artist, please do come by and sit for an hour or two, make some quick doodles for charity. If you're a musician, again, please do come by, play some music, draw in the crowd. And if you have some pocket change, you can discard it all there. We'll take care of it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you, Sniffer and the team. All right, let's see if I can put this in an order that makes sense at all. First, the final registration count, but that means not the final registration count, the final attendee count. That is 3,460 furries checked in as of today. This convention has been put together by 62 team leads overseeing over 278 staff members. Big applause to those. We had 232 participants in the summer boat party on Wednesday. And among the 3,400 and something attendees, 808 tagged themselves as artists, 151 tagged themselves as animators, 250 tagged themselves as musicians, and 1,731 tagged themselves as fursuiters. Which is staggeringly exactly 50%. The Con Store would like to let you know that finally we sold the last EF8 t-shirt. That was made 20 years ago. I wonder if we even can take that out of the package without it like falling apart. And they finally sold the last EF21 tree. If anybody remembers the little cubes we sold back then. Oh yeah, they still exist. I have no idea if they will still grow. Who knows? Maybe it'll grow tentacles or something like that. Yes. Then our dedicated security team had a total of 95 volunteers on duty doing exactly 2,105 man-hours of shifts during this convention, which is nothing short of crazy. What these people do to keep you safe and comfy. And our lost and found box, I think it is not more than, it's more like a lost and found wall by this time. They had 628 found items this year, 628. Which, by the way, many of those you can still claim at the SecOps office, and you can also look at the lost and found items in your app. It's a little bit like Craigslist. And if you don't pick it up, we are going to sell all this stuff on eBay and donate it to the charity or something. So please, if you are missing something, go check out the security office. It might be there. And security also reports that you've all been very well behaved, and you are really the most safe crowd to be around. Apparently someone lost like a briefcase with 350 euros in it in the beer garden, And someone actually handed that in. So respect to you. So then, some numbers from the art show. We had a complete number of 922 complete art show pieces in the art show, of which we sold 717 from a total numbers of 110 artists, distributed over 156 panels with artwork. So, very successful art show. And thank you to all the artists, and thank you to all the buyers. So let me see. Then I would like to announce what's going to happen next year. So, next year's Eurofurence is going to take place from the 2nd of August 2023 here in Berlin at the Estrell. And the theme is going to be the School of Black Magic. Okay, all right. Even though this is called the closing ceremonies, I'm not going to close the convention just yet, because there's still some stuff to come. Next up is going to be the Puppet Show, and we are starting with just the delay that we have inherited from the First Theater earlier. And we're all actually quite happy they only were a half an hour late, because you have to keep in mind these people who pulled off that awesome show up here this morning, they were doing this for the very first time on this stage, and they did an awesome job. Okay, a few words to the Puppet Show that's coming up. Those of you returning to Eurofurence might be interested to hear that this is going to be a story in the Keepers of the Light universe. And as I already said during the opening ceremonies, we've been severely understaffed, and we had staff members actually drop out during the convention. Among them, our most important production manager got the virus and was no longer available to us. So there's a lot of stuff that is going to be a little bit rough around the edges, but I'm not going to tell which of them these are, so you have to guess. We think we're fine. It is possible that some of the setup breaks are going to take a little bit longer than they are supposed to do, simply because we had to get our friends from the Swiss Puppet Show to drop in and do some, is there an English word for like Amtshilfe? I don't know, so get some professional support from our colleagues. But of course they didn't have the time to go through the entire script, so yeah, they're helping out. Please bear with us. To accommodate the extra setup time, we have moved the act breaks. So the first two acts are going to be a bit longer, and the last one is going to be a little bit shorter. So if you really need to go, do it in the first act break. Don't wait for the second act break. Just as a service announcement, because the pauses are going to be a little bit bigger. Okay, then last but not least, I want to address something very sad, and I would like to ask you for a moment of silence for a team member of the Puppet Show who sadly passed away earlier this year, and that is Ren. We are missing them dearly. They've been part of our set design and our costumes teams. And they one day sat in their bed with a bottle of Coke in their hand and suddenly stopped living. And we were all very shook by this. And I would like you to ask you to join me in a brief moment of silence to think of that friend that is no longer with us. Thank you. And with that, we're going to have a brief break of about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. We are all going to get ourselves freshened up, get a bottle of water, and get the show running. So, see you here in 5 minutes.